We're back for another episode of Nebraska Shoot Around, talking the men's side here with Jacob Padilla and Mike Sautter. But before we do that, let's talk about the Omaha Supernovas. They're back at home on February 14th, March 14th.
It's March,
Yeah,
Mike.
March.
It's March.
I know, it's hard. March 14th and March 16th, home matches for the Omaha Supernovas. You can find tickets at supernovas.com. All right. Nebraska goes 1-1 last week. Tough one at Ohio State. Wasn't great.
Yeah. We kind of thought like they had started to get through that with the way they'd been playing, getting that win at Indiana. You're like, okay, they got this behind us. They're the better team. They knew it. They went in, took care of business. And then Ohio State, without their best player, Bruce Thornton did not play in that game, who gave them some problems in the first time they played. Go out and just
they battled.
Yeah. Ohio State certainly did.
Battled.
Yes. Yeah.
Ohio State definitely battled. If you get where I'm going with that.
32 points for Jamison Battle.
On 9 of 18.
Yeah. And 10
good.
of 10 from the free throw line. So they just did not have answers for him. But more importantly, Nebraska shot 34% from the field.
Not good.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done.
38.
Yeah, and
38.8%. 34 in the second half.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. But 10 of 33 from three, and you had your three main guys there from an offensive standpoint.
Play well? No.
Jamarcus Lawrence.
Oh yeah, Jamarcus.
Literally the only one.
Yeah,
he's the only one who played well offensively.
14 points.
Yep. 3 of 5 from three. 5 assists. So he played well, but nobody else did. You look at Bryce Williams, 7 points on 3 of 7 shooting. Juwan Gary, 8 points on 3 of 12 shooting. 0 of 6 from three. You had Rink Mass, 14 points on 5 of 14 shooting. Had 12 rebounds, double there, but didn't light them up like the previous time they played. And then Keisei, 9 points, 3 of 12 shooting, 2 of 7 from three. And so it just seemed like when things weren't going well, it kind of got away from them. Their shot selection maybe got worse instead of better, and kind of let the game slip away, in addition to Ohio State's ability to get to the foul line and Nebraska's inability to do so. Nebraska was 7 of 8 from the line. Ohio State was 24 of 28.
Yeah, not good.
No. So, that just those are the kind of efforts you can't afford here as we head into postseason play. You can't come out there and just not be able to make a shot, not be able to defend. Like they didn't play well on either side, and the result is a loss that you were hoping to avoid, but they got it back at home. Finished out the home season at PBA 10-0 in Big Ten play, 18-1 overall, with a 67-56 win over Rutgers on Senior Day.
Yeah, that was played pretty well. Rutgers is actually like, man, if they could make a shot,
they
can guard, so they defend.
They are the second worst offensive team among all high majors, behind only DePaul. You do not want to be in the same conversation as DePaul in anything. Yeah. They're also 4th in the country in defense. So they do that very well, but Nebraska gave up 9 points in the first 11 and a half minutes of the game.
Yeah, they did. Rutgers' first three was with 4:01. First field goal was with 4:01 in the game. Like that's not good. And it was a deep, weird three that was like, shot from Bridgeport or something. It was really far.
So they built up the double-digit lead and then kind of maintained it. They went really cold in the second half.
Right.
Pushed the lead to 16, but they shot 27% overall after halftime. They went the last however many minutes you mentioned without a field goal, but we're still able to secure the double-digit win.
Over 6 minutes without a field goal and still won by double figures.
Highlight of the second half, though, was
Keisei's 10-0 run.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yep, Keisei scored 10 straight himself. He had an off day from the three-point line, only made 1 the entire day, 1 of 6.
That one, though.
But that one was spectacular. Where I think you identified the spot on the map.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't quite Kimball. Bushnell was probably more about where it was on the map.
And he got fouled on it, and then ran away covering his face and doing Keisei things. And
then the one reverse layup we got and one for was he ran into the
stands. He ran up to the nearly dishing out high fives or whatever. So like,
he was great. I mean, electric.
That's the I think that's kind of the most important thing about the senior day is you had a Keisei moment. Josiah Allick goes out there and has his first Nebraska double-double in his last game, and it's perfectly fitting that his 10th rebound was him diving on the floor and ripping a ball free to pass off to a teammate, because that is who he is, who he's been for this team. And it was pretty cool to see him go out, 10 points, 12 rebounds in a game
First
like that. Yeah, so it was...
At Nebraska, his first double-double.
Yes. So pretty special for those two that
Juwan Gary and him both were fantastic, and they needed him to be with that toughness part because Rutgers just brings it.
Yeah.
So,
wasn't a great shooting day for Gary, but he 15 points, 11 rebounds, had sick tip slam.
That dunk was ridiculous.
Just flew in, palmed that thing right on. Yeah.
Good.
So it was cool, I think, for the fans to be able to celebrate because Josiah and Keisei in particular are obviously out of eligibility. CJ Wilcher also went through the senior day ceremony. He's got another year if he wants it. So he's got a decision to make, but we knew that was it for Josiah and Keisei. And Josiah just kind of talked about, I'll have something up on Hail Varsity, the Hail Varsity page on hurrdatsports.com about this, but just kind of, he thought like the last time that he played on PBA was going to be a loss. At North Star. And so to come back here to put together the season that this team has and to walk out of there with a victory,
kind of
erase that final memory of playing at the kind of arena that he grew up watching games at. Like, it's pretty cool for him personally and for the team. And he talked about just kind of the risk he made. Like initially when Hoiberg reached out to him, he's like, you guys, like, he's got 1 year left.
Right.
He hasn't played in the NCAA tournament. It's like, it's a risk to go to Nebraska, but he like thought about, well, kind of see pieces here. Like, it's not for sure that they're going to be able to do it, but I don't know, maybe we can get this done, and decided to give it a shot. And here they are in great position to do something Nebraska has never done in program history.
Yeah.
With another Lincoln native there as a huge part of it, building off of what Sam Griesel did last year.
Yeah, the culture totally has flipped. That's something Hoiberg said prior to the game in his media availability about there has not been one guy late once all year for a practice or film or anything. He's like, that's just not normal, right? It just
and certainly not for the first 3 years of his time here.
100%. So the 18 wins is the most in school history. Home wins is the most in school history. 18-1 is the best home record since they were 11-0 in 1965-66. So 10-0 in the Big Ten. And Big Ten play is just the 11th time in school history and third time since World War II that they've been perfect home conference record. The 11 Big Ten wins means they're definitely going to have a winning record in conference play for the first time since 2017, 2018. And tied for sixth with 21 overall wins in the single season chart. So we need to get a couple more here to kind of move up a little bit more. Yeah. So, I mean, after that game there in KenPom, they're 27th in adjusted defensive efficiency in KenPom, which is
mid-season they were over 100.
Right.
So like that's been the change in this team. Like offense, they've been most of the season like they have their ups and downs.
50,
but
right?
They've been a solid offense, not elite but solid. Defense is where they've made up ground.
Yeah, and 34 overall KenPom. Like they're squarely in the tournament now, unless they go like 0-2 down the stretch here. I don't see that. I don't foresee.
So
that
21-9. They're 11-8 in the Big Ten, and they're currently in fourth place, half a game ahead of Wisconsin and half a game behind Northwestern. So this last game is very important. They're 28th in Bart Torvik, like you said, 34th in KenPom, still 43rd in the net. Yeah. And again, a lot of that's the non-conference, not performing better, not having better opportunities.
Still no bad losses, though.
That's exactly right. Like, so as long as you avoid another bad loss, they can't have, like I said, they can't have another Ohio State on the road performance here. Michigan, not a good team. They will have Doug McDaniel back, who did not play in Lincoln, obviously, because of his suspension that's now over. He played in their last game, and they still lost on the road. But they lost Olivier Kamwa to the season-ending injury.
Big.
So basically, those are their two best players. They're getting back their best player, and Kamwa was probably their second best player, and now he's out. So it's kind of one in, one out situation in terms of the matchup.
I kind of feel like Michigan is just like resigning themselves to the fact of not being good. So,
yeah, they put up a fight against Purdue at home,
right?
And then these last two games just got worked on the road at Rutgers, at Ohio State. So
Rutgers was a 30 ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gave up 82 points to Rutgers.
Yeah. That's
yeah, they're 180th in adjusted defensive efficiency. So this has to be a game where Nebraska takes care of business. They make good decisions. They play well together. They're not careless with the ball. If they do all those little things, they should be just fine in this situation. But again, they have to go do it.
Yeah, Nebraska also never won in the Chrysler Center at Michigan.
So that'll be on the line as well.
So another thing that history could happen.
Yeah.
That would be, I think everyone's just kind of looking forward to them winning that game.
So Nebraska wins this. They'll finish 12-8.
Got to get some help, though, to jump up to the double bye.
Yeah,
or at least third, I guess.
So Wisconsin, half a game back. Wisconsin needs to beat Rutgers and Purdue if Nebraska wins this game. And that's going to be a tough one against Purdue in the season finale. It's at Purdue.
At Mackey, yeah.
So if Nebraska wins this, I think they're probably got a good chance of locking up that double bye. So that's a lot on the line, and they've got a lot of time to prepare for it here with the week off this late in the season. And Northwestern, again, is sitting there. They've got an extra game left. They have Michigan State at Michigan State and are home against Minnesota to close it out. So a lot still to be determined here in the kind of the 3 through 5 spot in the Big Ten standings. Iowa's still kind of hanging in there at 10-9.
Iowa is the wild card here. They could really affect things.
Yeah, if they can knock off Illinois at home to finish 11,
they could.
Yeah, and they're just outside the bubble, I think. Just outside, or they're on the bubble just outside the field, probably in that region. So that would be a huge game for them. So they could potentially get up to 11 wins as well. So Nebraska has to take they have to take care of business. Everything they've worked for up to this point is still very much within their grasp here, and they finish it off here. You'll feel great about where they are heading into the postseason.
They got to win, and Northwestern needs to lose at Michigan State or at home against Minnesota.
Yeah. So
that would be
man, if they lose both those, then Nebraska could jump them with a win. Yeah.
That's what I mean. Trying to get to both. 3.
Yeah. They need them to lose both to jump them.
If you could be on,
I don't know the tiebreaker situation.
If you want to be on the opposite side of,
I don't know what the tiebreaker, because they both they're 1-1 against each other. Yeah. They both beat Purdue, right?
Right.
So I don't know what the next tiebreaker is.
Both lost to Illinois, or no? Did they beat Illinois? No, they beat Northwestern. Beat Illinois.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Yeah. But that's all.
Northwestern's, not healthy either. So
yeah, they lost Tyberry for the season, and so a lot to play for
very
Nebraska
much so a lot to
this
play
weekend.
For. Don't lose to Michigan. Don't lose to Michigan, and you'll be good. So that's where we're at. All right, that'll do it for Nebraska shoot around on the men's side of things.